Hello everyone, welcome to Group 9 with Dian Eka Sapitri as the first presenter and Anaftrata Laila as the second presenter. Now, we would like to explain you about teaching speaking.
And the first discussion is introduction. Speaking is an interactive process of constructive meaning that involves producing and receiving and processing information. Speaking is a crucial part of second language learning and teaching. For many years, teaching speaking has been undervalued, and English language teachers have continued to teach speaking just as a repetition of drills or memorization of dialogue. Teaching speaking should improve student communicative skill. And the next is teaching speaking. Speaking English is the main goal of many adult learners. Speaking relates with pronunciation and grammar, which are necessary for effective oral communication. Grammar and reading lesson may incorporate a speaking activity. The learning process is supported by teacher's rule, and there are several teacher rules in teaching speaking, such as organizer, get students engaged and set the activity. And then the second one is prompter, provide students with chunks, not word. And the next is observer, analyze what cases communication breakdown. The next is participant, don't monopolize or initiate the conversation. And then the last is resource, provide students with the tools to improve their oral performance.
So, the next is the importance of teaching speaking. First is effectively, they can present their own points of view. The next is have a good skill in good writing, reading, and listening aspects. Develop more participant confidence in a variety of contexts, both in and out of schools. The next is the common problem in speaking activities. To be competent in learning language need much effort to get the goal. Most of people have to master all the language aspects to be good, but they cannot get it in simple way, even they are almost failed because some common such as students don't want to speak. They lack required vocabularies. They are afraid of making error. So don't correct or take notes when they are speaking. Show them some successful example. The next is they use their native language in a group or pair work. The next is strong students usually dominate conversation. So put strong students in one group. Give strong students more advanced tasks so they are challenged. The class too big, keep pair work group. Choose members carefully. Record their speaking at regular intervals. The next is unmotivated by speaking tasks. The next I want to explain is goal and techniques of teaching speaking. The goal of teaching speaking skills is communicative efficiency, so learners should be able to make themselves understood using their current proficiency to the fullest. To help students develop communicative efficiency in speaking, instructors can use a balanced activities approach that combines language input, structured output, and communicative output. Language input comes in the form of teacher talk, listening activities, reading passages, and language heard and read outside of class. It gives learners the material they need to begin producing language themselves. The next is structured output, focuses on correct form. Structured output is designed to make learners comfortable producing specific language items recently introduced, sometimes in combination with previously learned items. The next is communicative output. Communicative output activities. So communicative output activities is the criterion of success, whether the learners get the message across. So in teaching speaking, we cannot teach the same way in different levels because each of them has different understanding in learning process. So every level has different way in teaching, especially speaking. It is possible to divide into 4 levels. For the first is children 6 up to 12 years. So the techniques are first make time to hear about the day's activities. Be sure your child knows you are actively interested and listening carefully. The second is remember to talk with your kids, not at them. And ask questions that go beyond yes or no answers to prompt more developed conversation. The next is make time for sporting and school events, playing games and talking about current events. The next is encourage the learners to read books and stories that are slightly above his or her competency level. The next is young learners. There are many techniques and activities the teachers can choose for their young learners. The choice should be based on the aims of the program coupled with the learner's stage of development. Brown 2001 stated 7 principles for designing speaking techniques. First is use techniques that focus on interaction, meaning, and fluency. The second is provide intrinsically motivating techniques. The next is encourage the use of authentic language in meaningful contexts. The next is provide appropriate feedback and correction. The next is capitalize on the natural link between speaking and listening. Next is give students opportunities to initiate oral communication. The next is encourage the development of speaking strategies college. The next is college students. So in order to be a competent speaker, a person must be able to compose a message and provide ideas and information suitable to the topic, purpose, and audience. Specifically, the competent speaker should exhibit the following competencies by demonstrating the abilities included under each statement. Here are some techniques of teaching speaking on college students that possible to use. First is employ vocal variety in rate, pitch, and intensity. The second is articulate clearly. The next is employ language appropriate to the designed audience. The next is demonstrate nonverbal behaviors that support the verbal message. The next is professional or expert level. In addition, an expert learner has the skill and a systematic approach to studying and learning, which makes strategic learning not only possible but probably as well. So here are some techniques that can be used in teaching speaking in expert learners. First is metacognitive knowledge, such as task requirements from personal resources. The next is metacognitive control. Metacognitive control or self-regulation. First is planning, second is monitoring, third is evaluating. The next is strategies for developing speaking skill. The first is using minimal responses. So language learners would lack confidence in their ability to participate successfully in oral interaction, often listen in silence while others do the talking. Minimal responses are predictable, often idiomatic phrases that conversation participants use to indicate understanding, agreement, doubt, and other responses to what other speaker is saying. Having a stock of such responses enables a learner to focus on what the participant is saying without having to simultaneously plan a response. The next is recognizing script. Some communicative situations are associated with a predictable set of spoken exchange script. Greetings, apologize, compliments, invitation, and other functions that are influenced by social and cultural norms often follows patterns or script. The next is using language to talk about the language. So language learners are often too embarrassed or shy to say anything when they do not understand another speaker or when they realize that a conversation partner has not understood them. Instructors can help students overcome this resistance by assuring them that misunderstanding and the need of clarification can occur in any type of interaction. Whatever the participants' language skill levels, instructors can also give students strategies and phrases to use for clarification and comprehension check. The next is using media in learning process, such as subtitled film, personal contact with native speaker, music and lyric, books and magazine, and internet. That's all. Thank you so much.